So, this should not be an angry rant, but this is probably going to be, I'd say, only for the sake of just keeping the rant 100% and not deviating from the truth. I mean, I may have to go into some kind of adult areas, not about me personally, but just certain things in this rant. Even though this is a lighthearted rant, so obviously you see I have this red on, and this rant actually is an odd rant. This is simply a rant that's just about color. This is a rant that is about I've always had an obsession with the color red pertaining to many things. Um and I guess I started thinking about this rant because not too long ago I was at a food pantry, right? And so I'm at this food pantry and there's a couple of women there that like to run the pantry. So they had this like they gave me barbecue sauce, they gave me jelly, and they gave me cranberry sauce, right? And then there was these little things called little smokies. They're like almost like hot dogs, but they're more like a smokier, spicier type of thing. Almost like a Polish, or I think it's Polish. It's almost like a what we used to call kibasi, but I think it's called kielbasa. It's not quite that, but its smokiness and its flavor is more closer to that than it is simply to a hot dog. Um, but they said that there was something they used to make, and they used to literally put jelly and cranberry sauce in a crock pot and throw these smokies in it. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, you're crazy. I mean, not out loud. In my head, I'm thinking, you bitches are crazy. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is not gonna work. Like, that sounds disgusting. But then I actually started to stop. I said, wait, hold up. And then I thought of it, and I thought, well, maybe they're on to something because they're raving about this whole thing. They're like, you have to do it. You have to try it. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I'll try it. And then I told him, I was like, okay, I'll try it. I'll go. So I went home and I tried it, right? I tried it and I loved it. It came out so delicious. But it wasn't even just that the way it tasted. It was the redness of it. It was the red color that had this um, cranberry red color to it, and it just drove me nuts, man. It's like that's what the color red does me. Like the red is one of those colors where it's like it stimulates me on every visual level that I could imagine. Like it's literally like when food is red, it's just so much prettier. I got to keep it real. When there's a lot of red, like furniture, there's red things going on. There's red lights, there's red colors. It is a very sexually charging thing for me, in particular. I don't know why it is, but it just is. Um, so I just always like to surround myself with that color on various things. Like there has to be a significant amount of red in my area. Like there just has to be. I don't know. I just can't help it. It's something that it's just something I just love, you know. But the thing about it is it just works. You know what I mean? It just works. Um, in some of my favorite dishes too, they have like that red color to them. Like I mean, like a straight up ridiculous red color. Like it's just it just is, you know, and it just works. But I also this is where it's gonna get kind of adult is what I was gonna talk on. I was gonna talk about so obviously everybody that knows me knows that obviously I'm not obsessed with porn by any means, but obviously I fap. I mean, come on, do I look like a monk to you? I have hormones. I'm a grown man. I'm 33 years old. Obviously, I get down and fap occasionally, you know. But I was watching this video, and it was one of my favorite porn stars, whose name, whose name is Madison Lee, right? And it was this video where it was basically like something about like the storyline went she cheated on her boyfriend or something, and then some guy blackmailed her into having sex, right? And Madison Lee basically got her hair pulled on a red couch, and her friggin' her like the way this woman looks, like she's not like a woman I guess most people would say is like super attractive, but I guess if you're like just if you find her attractive, you just like find her just unbelievably attractive, and that's the type of girl that Madison Lee is, and that's how like I see her. So like, oh my gosh, man, I watched that video. I'm not gonna go into, obviously you already know, but oh my gosh, when she put her hands on that red couch and this guy yanked her hair, oh my lord almighty. But the couch, I don't know if it was, obviously it was her that was looking, but that couch, I was like, man, I mean, I could imagine, man, if I had a couch like that, that was colored, like it was red like that, I think and I am not a quick, I'm not a quick shooter in bed by any means, but I think I would go a little quicker, finish quicker with all those, with that red type of red around like that, man. I mean, I just I had to talk about it because I couldn't believe the couch. Not that I couldn't believe how Madison Lee was looking in that, because I have to say that's probably my favorite Madison Lee video that I've ever found, was that one, because everything about it was just absolutely beautiful. Everything, the colors, the outfit she had on, the way she was looking, the couch, man. Oh my god, oh my god. But the thing about red is like it even goes back to like, I think it's very primal. It goes back to like a lot has to do, I think, with it of us being predators and having to kill prey. And it's like, I swear, and I'm gonna go deeper into this. Sometimes I look around, I'm like, man, it's gonna sound weird, it's gonna sound sick, but it's not. I don't really think it is. I feel like, you ever played like a video game where like it's like a hellish background, and the walls and the floors are literally like flesh texture, and they're like really really red, like a sort of like angry sky red, magma, sort of like bloody red type of color. Like literally there could be like veins going out throughout the walls, and you're like in this sort of like twisted realm type of look. You ever seen something like that in any games before, any video games? Well, sometimes I wish I could literally be in a place like that. Like I feel like I'm inside of like a womb or something. Like it feels like I'm in some type of fleshy walls. Like I'm literally inside some type of, what's the word, living, almost like like an organism. Like something about that look. And it's kind of gross too, because I don't know, it's kind of, I mean, it's not, I mean, the inside walls of a woman is not gross. I'm not saying that's gross, but I'm saying literally inside of any person, it does not look like it does on the outside. That's all I gotta say. So it just is, but I love that type of look. Like it's something about it where it's just like, and the redder it is, the more appealing it is. Like the more red it is, the more appealing it is. The more crazy, the more crazy pleasing the color is. Like I just love it. Like literally, I was telling someone before that like if I could paint my walls red, they probably would be red. If I literally could paint them red, they would be red for sure. Uh, I think one of there's two things I think that sent me over the edge though with the obsession with the color was and I'm gonna make a disclaimer. This has nothing to do with no blood gang, nothing, because nah, just no. Okay, so no, it doesn't have to anything to do with that. Okay, at all. I have no affiliation with that whatsoever. Okay, but the thing that I'm saying is, okay, when I first saw the movie Bram Stoker's Dracula, there was a lot of red imagery in there. I think he even had like, yeah, he had red armor on at one point, and I was just like, oh my god, like things can really be red like that. I think that's what I really thought in my head. I was like, things can be red like that. Like, damn. Oh man! And then I play. Oh yeah, I played this game. I used to play this game called Darkstalkers years ago. You probably know what video game it is, Darkstalkers. And they used to be this background of this vampire Dimitri, and his kind of like lair, I guess you could call it, or whatever, house or whatever, had this, a lot of red furniture, and like I think it may have red curtains, red rugs and stuff. And it was just like I don't know, it did something to me. Like seeing something about that, like big red anything, like big red furniture like that. It did something to me psychologically on a level to where I wouldn't call it an obsession, but I would say that it hit me so hard psychologically for some reason seeing it that it's burned into my psyche, and it's something that I don't think will ever leave. I think it's a taste that just will never ever leave my psyche ever. And also, I was gonna say early when I was a child, we used to have this Chinese food, and there would be these ribs, and I still eat them to this day. I'm like, I love them. There are these ribs, and they whatever they season them with or whatever dyes or colors they use makes it turn red, and it's like very very distinct red, like very blood distinct red. And also in the pork fried rice, the pork, a lot of it is very, it's grayish to brown on some parts, but it's very distinct red. Like literally looks like it was dipped in food dye and red food dye. And eating that as a kid and seeing that, when can even remember, I don't remember when I first saw it, but as long as I can ever remember, the sight of that, um, the sight of it did something to my brain. That's all I have to say. The sight of it did something to my brain. I'm not gonna say it was a bad thing. It just like it's like, you know, when someone says they fell in love with something, it's like I fell in love with the color. Like I fell in love with the color red at that point, at least. You know, I'm trying to think of some other things that it like just reinforced the what reinforced those habits in my head already. Oh yeah, there used to be this cartoon. I forgot the name of it, but it was I can't remember, the not a cartoon. It was more like CGI or something, where these planets would literally fight. It was like different type of planets or races of aliens or something would fight, and then they had the like the fire people basically, and I think their eyes were a combination of like red and yellow or something. And for some stupid reason, I had never really paid attention to an eye color like that. Uh, but I mean, for like months and months and months, like all I could really fixate on, for the most part, about that cartoon was the fire character's eyes. It was a combination of these yellow and red, and it's just like it was burned into my memory. It is burned. It's burned into my psyche. You know. Um, and I think there was a time where I had crayons too. There was a point where I had crayons, and it was not just the red, but the red orange crayon. That was the one. The red orange crayon. It was so weird. It's like literally, I I saw it and I was like, damn. I was like, so red can be orange red like that. It's not just like any of it's. It can actually look like that. It just did something. It did something to me. But I'm also gonna say, red is like probably, I wouldn't say it's my favorite color, but I would say it's my favorite color when it comes to like food and furniture. I would definitely say that. You know, but I will also say red does something to me on a psychological level in a good way, um more than any other color does. But I also have to say green is another one of those colors to where I would say when I was younger, I was I was probably obsessed with the color green. You know, like to this day, I would say green is another trigger color. Not bad trigger. I mean like a good trigger. Like especially translucent green. You know, like clear green or fluorescent glowing green, different types of green really, really, really affect me on a psychological level. For whatever reason, I know green and red don't tend to really mix, and I don't really mix them. Um, but the thing is, there are some things that should be green, and this is going back to most likely I say food and furniture, right? Food and furniture, a lot of things. There are some things that really should be green. Um, you wouldn't think furniture would be green, but I'm gonna say, there are some furniture things that really should be green, and there's a very nice way to do to make certain things that are green and can be furniture at the same time. Um, and as far as like utensils, things like vases, stuff like that, they can be green. They can be green, and especially a see-through type of green. I mean, I swear, when I was a kid, if I saw something that was see-through green, man, I usually would have thoughts of stealing it. And when I was a little kid, I've stolen many little things when I was a little kid. So it is what it is. I just thought it was a rant that really has no real significance, but it was just something to talk about because today I was just thinking about it and just realizing, like, just how odd it is, but how it just is a thing. So this is Steve from the back. Like, comment, and sub, and have a nice day.